Sheesh. Wow. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Am I on late? No, I thought I scheduled it to 8:40. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe I scheduled it to 8:30. I don't know. This is my first time scheduling a YouTube live. Can you guys hear me? By the way, if you can hear me, drop some. I can hear you in the little chat box. I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. Hold on. Let's see. Doom, doom, doom. Awesome, awesome. Is the sound good? I'm not sure if it's coming from my AirPod or if it's coming from my actual phone. Hopefully, it's coming from the AirPod because I'm going to put the phone down. And I don't have my phone stand with me today. So we're going to see how this works. So far, not good. So far, not good. All right, hold on. You guys know I like to have fun, so we're gonna relax today. Let's see. Boom, that should be good. That should be good. All right, so we're gonna give it. I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes. See if some more people hop on, and then once we get this thing live and rocking, I can see the chat box. Let me see, live chat. Okay, so I can see a chat box. So we're gonna jump straight into it in 2 more minutes. Let me check the time. As a matter of fact, let's do at 8:45. Okay, 8:45 live and direct. So if you guys have any friends or anybody that wants to go ahead and tune in, feel free to share out the stream. And we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna play a little bit of music, copyright free, so that YouTube don't get me, right? But we'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back. All right, let's get it. Sheesh. Let's go. Let's go. New Zealand. Jeez. Hey guys, look, start dropping it. Drop in the chat. Where's everybody tuning in from? Where is everyone tuning in from? Let me know. Let your boy know. We got 33 live on the line right now. Oh, we live. Wow. This is my first official YouTube live. I know we did a YouTube live before, but I was like kind of spontaneously, like right off the rip, just randomly did a live. So we got, let's see. We got New Zealand, Mississippi, Georgia. All right, let's get it. Fort Lauderdale. Hey, I just moved. I'm actually right here in Aventura. So this is my new spot here in Aventura. Just moved here. So we definitely got to link up, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, so we got California. We got Boston. We got Georgia. We got a lot of Georgia, Jamaica, Barbados, London, UK. Okay, Long Beach, California, Pennsylvania, Minneapolis. Let's get it. Let's get it. You know what's so crazy? I was just in Georgia the day before yesterday. I was just in Georgia the day before yesterday. We had drove up there. I think the day before yesterday. I'm pretty sure. But let's get it. Let's get it. Arizona. What's that, Kerry? What's that? Where you at? Is that like ILL or LLL? Oh, Illinois. All right. Hey, you gotta clarify that. I don't know. I don't know these places. I don't know these places. Okay. Cool. 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 Arizona, Illinois. What's up? What's up, man? How's it going? Florida. Okay. Everett. I mean, you know what? I've actually heard. I think I have people on the team that are in Everett. Is that Massachusetts? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So let's see where we at. Where are we at on the time? All right, it's exactly 8:45. The Bahamas. Okay, South Carolina. Let's go ahead. We're gonna pause the musico, and kind of just jump right into it. I'm super excited. I think. Have you tried the peaches? I have not tried the peaches out in Georgia. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. So look, this is something that I kind of been wanting to do for a while now. But as you know, some of you may or may not know, I was in the process of literally moving. Made a pretty, I would say, big move. I grew up in New York, so my entire life it's just really been in New York. But we decided to make the move down to South Florida, which we are at right now. and finally kind of like officially moved in, been doing a lot of traveling and stuff like that. So I'm kind of tired of traveling, to be honest with everyone here, but I definitely want to get back on, to the YouTube scene and kind of just keep uploading and providing that value for everybody here. What I wanted to do is, and this is something that I've been thinking about for a while, is really just getting on, doing these lives. It's kind of always been, I guess, like a out of my comfort zone to do lives like this. But we're gonna break them comfort zones, man. That's what I'm about. I'm about, expanding, breaking them comfort zones, and doing what I don't believe, I can do. So I want to make this a consistent thing. We're gonna start off maybe about twice a month. Maybe once every other week or something like that. But really, just getting on with some of you guys here, because my inbox is, whether it be on, Instagram, Telegram, wherever you guys, WhatsApp, some of you guys message me on WhatsApp. My inboxes are absolutely flooded, like completely flooded. And it's hard to get back to everybody that messages me, but I do also feel bad when I don't get back to everyone. Like sometimes I'll be going through my inbox and I see like somebody asked a good question and they asked it like 8 weeks ago, and I'm like, man, I feel so bad. I never responded back to this person. It's been 8 weeks. So instead of really worrying about the inbox and stuff like that, I think it would be pretty cool if I kind of just get these lives going and kind of answer some of your guys' questions live, like on a YouTube live, here with you guys, dropping your questions in the chat box, and just really seeing where everybody is at. Now, I do want to put a little disclaimer out there. Let me see this chat thing. I'm not good with the chat. All right, so I do want to make a disclaimer. First and foremost, as far as these questions, you guys can ask me anything you want about Forex, about trading, about binary options, or whatever the case may be. I am going to stray away from a few things. I'm going to tell you guys right now. It's not because I want to. Like, you guys can always private message me and ask me more of this kind of stuff, but more of the personal aspect kind of things, like, lifestyle stuff, income, stuff like that. I'm not going to be answering those kind of questions here on the live, due to some of the partner companies that I'm with. I'm legally not allowed to disclose like income and try to entice people and stuff like that. So just want to make that clear right off the rip. But jumping straight into it, these are going to be live question and answers. So I'm going to be on here for about 20 minutes. I think that's a good time frame. 20 minutes to just really get to answer as many questions as I can. And hopefully, the more we do these, the more they grow, the more questions we get. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that maybe you don't have money for a course, maybe you don't have, the money for mentorship, or maybe you just don't even know where to start, or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of basic questions that can be answered without having to pay for something. So I guess that's kind of like the goal with these, to kind of get these done. And I know a lot of you actually have some of the same questions. So hopefully we can knock that out. All right. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead, and if you guys want, like I said, this is a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop it. All right. Feel free to type on up, drop it in the chat, get your questions answered, and we're going to kind of take it from there. I know this is a little bit last minute, but again, I'm going to try to schedule them a little bit more out so that, more people know, and you guys got your questions ready. All right. So I'm going to play some music. We're going to see if we get any questions in the chat box. And if not, then I'm just going to talk to y'all and have some fun, man. All right. So let's get it. Let's see. All right. Had to step out real quick, man. Get my glasses. Get the glasses going. Let's get it. Let's get it. So we're gonna read some of these questions. What are some good? Let me see. Some good pairs. Okay. So as far as good pairs, the easiest way to answer this question about the pairs, because I get questions like this, and hopefully I'm answering the question right. And if I don't answer it right, like exactly to what you were asking me, just let me know. But when it comes to currency pairs, I get a lot of questions of what are good pairs, what are the best pairs, what pairs make the most money, or whatever the case may be. When it comes to that, here's what people have to understand. So there's not necessarily a pair that's better than another pair. Okay, it's really about, and this is just my opinion, right? Everyone trades a little bit different, but number one, it's all about your trading plan. So that's number one. But number two, what are you looking to get from the market, right? The first way I'll answer that is like ADR. So if you guys don't know what ADR is, it's the average daily range, right? So each currency pair has a different, I would say a different range in which it moves every single day, right? So if you're looking at a pair that moves really slow, that, let's just say hypothetically speaking, only moves about 50 pips a day, whereas you're looking at GBP pairs that move a lot, right? And they can move 100 to 150 pips a day. Then you kind of gotta refer back to your trading plan and really think about, okay, how many pips am I looking to get from the market, right? Now, the reason why I'm so big on trading plan is because aside from just the pip aspect, you also want to think about what times of day are you trading, because with the different times of day, that will also determine, okay, which pairs are moving more than others. Like, for example, if you're trading New York session, I trade New York session in the morning. I trade at 9:30 a.m., right? New York session, you're looking at a lot of the USD pairs that are moving a lot. Why? Because all of the US, the banks, the stock exchange, Wall Street, New York, whatever, it had just opened up. That's when everything opens up in New York, right? So financial capital of the US is obviously New York. So you're looking at New York session, you're looking at all of the USD pairs that are going to move a lot faster compared to, like, if you're looking at Tokyo session, right? Obviously, Tokyo session, what currency is going to move faster? JPY, right? So little things like that. It's like when the news is coming out. So when we're talking about what pairs is best, right? It depends on what time of day you're trading and what are you looking to get from that pair, right? Are you looking for volatility, right? Are you looking for nice steady movement? It all really depends, and that's where the trading plan comes into play. So you got to get yourself a trading plan, man. I can't really give you a pair that's better than the rest, and like I said, that's just my opinion. I'm sure there will be other traders that agree with that, but that's how I see it. All right. Let me know if that makes sense in the comments. All right. I have a problem with recognizing how to set up stop loss and take profit on MetaTrader 4. Okay. All right. Problem remembering price action. All right. So I'm going to start with how to set up the stop loss and take profit. So in terms of setting up your stop loss and take profit, if you're trading MetaTrader 4, it's what I would recommend is, number one, is what strategy are you trading? Like, what is your, like, how do you trade, right? And it goes back to ADR again, right? Average daily range. You guys might want to look that up. Maybe I'll do a video on that, right? But if we're talking about ADR, average daily range, and we're talking about the amount of take profit you should be taking, I would always recommend at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio in terms of your stop loss and your take profit. So what does that mean? Well, if your take profit is going to be, let's just say 20 pips, a 20 pip take profit, and then you'll put a 20 pip stop loss, that is a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Okay. That means if I win, right, I win 20 pips. If I lose 20 pips. That's a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Now, if you're going to do a 1-to-2, see, 1-to-2 is a little bit better. Okay. And how that works is, obviously, let's just say I have a 20 pip stop loss, then I would put a 40 pip take profit. Okay. So what does that mean? For every one loss that I take, right, for every 2 wins, right, I can lose once and I'll still be in profit. Does that make sense? Right? Actually, no. I'm bugging. Every time that I win, I can lose twice and I'll still be like break even. All right. So I mix that up a little bit. For every one time that I win, I can lose twice and still break even. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. But in terms of like where to set your stop loss and your take profit, it's really dependent on, like I said, strategy. It depends on the strategy, how much the market's going to move, and things like that. Are you more of a slower paced trader, right? Are you more of a volatile trader? You got to look into stuff like that. And the best way to do that as well and this is how I would recommend this to everybody here, okay? If you're having a problem with setting up your stop loss and your take profit, you're not really sure where to put it, the best piece of advice I can give you is to back test your strategy, right? And I have a video on back testing as well. I just did it. If you guys go a few uploads back, you'll see it. But back test your strategy, okay? Because in back testing your strategy, you'll be able to get your confirmations and you'll see exactly how much the market has moved. And what you can start doing is you can start developing or thinking about a potential take profit based off of how many pips your strategy has moved previously. So, for example, I like to trade teacups, right? A lot of you here may or may not know about the teacup strategy. I have a video on that as well. All right. So with the teacup strategy, typically if you're trading on the 1 hour time frame, okay, on the 1 hour time frame, I like to go for about 30 pips. Okay, 30 pips on a 1 hour time frame. Okay, my stop loss is typically it's going to be less than 30 pips. So it's usually about 15 to 20 pips that I'll put for a stop loss on the teacup. Okay. And again, it all depends. But how did I get this? Well, I got this from looking at the different times that the market has made this teacup reversal, right? And I go back, I back test it. I go to the left of the screen and I go back and I look at how many times has it done it. And in how many times has it done it, I look at the drawdown, right? If there was any drawdown. And if there was drawdown, how far did it reverse before it came in the direction that I wanted it to come? So if I see that my strategy, a lot of the times, before it hits the take profit, maybe it shoots up, 10 pips, or maybe it shoots up 15 pips, but it never really hits the 20 pip mark. Then what I would probably want to do is just to give it a little bit of breathing room. Maybe I'll put a 20 pip stop loss, right? And that's the absolute max that I'm going to put. And I'll put a 20 pip stop loss. And then I look at, okay, how much pips did it go into profit, right? Because obviously that's what we want. We want profit. If you have a consistent, if you're back testing and it consistently only does about, let's just say 30 pips before it goes back into the opposite direction, then what you don't want to do is don't put a 40 pip take profit, right? It just doesn't make sense. So that's why back testing is so important, because you want to make sure that, again, you're logging and you're keeping track. Just like if you had a job or whatever the case may be, there are certain tasks and certain things that you have to do in your job to be successful at your job, right? It's the same thing with trading. So there's specific habits and things that you guys should be doing. Back testing is very important, okay? So hopefully that answered your question. Let me pull up the chat again. All right. So, all right. So the next one is, I have a problem with remembering price action. I do too. It's normal. I would say it all comes with repetition. Price action, in my opinion, price action is pretty freaking hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, and that's why I trade binaries. but for the most part, I think price action, getting good at price action was probably one of the last things that I got good at in terms of trading. Just to keep it 1,000% with you guys. Again, it's repetition. So I'm really big on this, right? I always say in trading, we see all these these traders online, and they got the Lamborghinis and they're making a bunch of money, and they're talking about trading naked and price action and so on and so forth. And what we don't see is the years of studying and trading and blowing accounts. We don't see that stuff. And some of them talk about it here and there, but again, we see most of the lifestyle, we see most of the money, we see what's going on now. We don't see all the time that it took. So I'll give you guys, I guess, a quick example. I started trading in 2015, right? That's when I first found out about Forex, right? I started trading in 2015. From 2015 to towards the end of 2016, I was literally all auto traders, signals and stuff like that. That was me. I was like, yo, this is too hard. I don't want to learn it. Who can give me the best signals, right? Then finally, I started learning it myself. But what I'm saying is that I started back in 2015. We're in 2021 now, right? I didn't really get good at trading until about 2018. So that was 3 whole years of me taking trades, taking signals, understanding MetaTrader 4, learning price action, learning about the different indicators. It was 3 whole years of me learning that stuff, right? And obviously now I'm able to teach you guys and hopefully help you guys kind of cut that learning curve a little bit. But again, everybody sees the glory, only few know the story, right? So in terms of price action, if you're having a hard time remembering it, the best, I guess, piece of advice I can give you is to keep practicing, Back test, obviously back test, log all your trades, and then of course, do a demo account. Use a demo account, and you should be good on that. All right, let's see. How are we going so far? Are you guys enjoying this so far? I know it's kind of quiet on my end. I don't know how it is over there. All right. I'm used to, you know what I'm used to too? I'm used to Zooms, right? I usually do Zooms, and obviously with Zooms, it's a little bit more interactive. So like I said, I've never done this YouTube live before. This is completely different for me. So it's kind of like I'm talking to myself here, but I'm reading comments. All right, let's see. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. What do you look? What's up, bro? Wow, there's a lot of questions. Hold on. I like completely lost track of where I was at. All right, give me a second. Once you have a live account, how much can you withdraw? Only $100. Once you start a live account, how much can you withdraw? Only $100. As far as how much you can withdraw, there shouldn't be a limit. I mean, it depends on the broker. It depends on what broker you're using. With MetaTrader 4, there's not a lot of rules. If you have an MT4 broker, there's not a lot of rules on your withdrawal. With binaries has the most rules in terms of withdrawing that I've ever seen in my life. So it can get complicated, but you gotta look at the rules and stuff like that for the broker. All right. What do you look for when trading pairs to trade? What makes binary options? Okay, cool. So this is I would say, what do you look for when finding pairs to trade? I would say I have my set pairs. So the way that I chose my pairs is I chose it based off of a few things, okay? So in binary options, it's actually very important in binary options. When you choose a broker and you have a time of day that you trade, you kind of have to trade based off of the percentage that that broker is paying out at that time of day. Like that's literally the only way to trade, right? And I know that it's probably a little hard to understand in the beginning, but so each broker, based on the volatility of the market, based on what session it is, based on what currency pair is moving or the news or whatever the case may be, every binary options broker pays out different. And if you guys trade binary options, you'll see the percentages, they fluctuate throughout the day, right? They fluctuate throughout the day. Now, I trade on Vibe Forex. If you guys, how many of you here are familiar with Vibe Forex? All right. So I trade on Vibe Forex. The reason why I like Vibe Forex is because there's no cap. There's no real cap to the position size. So I know a lot of the other brokers, I think like the max you can trade is like $1,000 at a time. Sometimes I like to trade more than that, right? So there's no cap on it. So, but with Vibe Forex in New York session, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the best for a New York session because a lot of the pairs are just paying out like 60%, 65%, whatever the case may be, right? So in terms of what pairs I look at, I have all of the main currency pairs on my watch list, right? So if you guys, I have this in a video as well, or you can just Google it. But I have all of the main currency pairs, the ones that move the fastest, the ones that move the most during New York session. Okay, so this is how I do it. I know I trade every day. Well, not every day, but I trade New York session. I only trade New York. So I have all the pairs that move New York session, and then what I do is I'll look at the broker. I'll see which ones are paying out good. If I can get a 70% or higher on the broker, then I will focus on those pairs for that session. All right. But for the most part, all I really do is, and if you guys watch some of my live trading sessions, all right, my live trading sessions, what will the pairs be? Look at the last video. I just posted a live trading session, all right? So go look at that. But it's a yeah. The reason why I'm saying is because it's a lot. I don't want to go through all of them like USD, JPY, blah blah blah. But what I typically do is I have them right there on my watch list, and I just scroll down. So one by one, if you just click the arrow on your keyboard, it'll go to the next one, or the space bar. The space bar, it'll go to the next one automatically. So boom, I just go one by one by one by one, and I'll go. And what I do is I look for my indicator confirmations first, right? I always do this. And this is for binary options, by the way. So I look for my indicator confirmations first. I typically look to see if we are at or near a Bollinger Band, right? I use the Bollinger Bands a lot. So that's the first thing I look for, at or near the Bollinger Band. And once I see the at or near the Bollinger Band, I'll look for my stochastic, my BMI on the bottom, see if it's looking to be overbought or oversold. If in my brain I can get a good setup, then I'll say, okay, cool. Now let me check the broker to see if this currency pair is paying out. If it's not paying out, I don't take the trade. The reason being is in if you guys are taking notes or whatever, but it's very important in binary options. I know a lot of people don't like binary options because of the risk to reward factor. So with like MetaTrader 4 brokers, you can set a 1-to-1, a 2-to-1, a 10-to-1, or whatever the case may be, risk to reward, right? The thing is that with binaries, there's no real setting a stop loss and a take profit. It's when you place a trade, if it says 70%, that's what you're going to make, right? So what you have to do with binaries is you have to try and take the highest possible payout. Okay. So if the broker isn't paying out, I don't care how good the setup is, I don't take it. And here's why. Because nobody trades 100%, right? Nobody wins 100% of the time. And a lot of the times, even if the setup is really good, you still might lose that trade. So what's happening is that typically, let's just say typically, I take 70% payouts. And I'm on a winning streak of 70%, 70%, 70%, 70%, okay? And then there's this one fire trade. It's fire. And it's only paying out 60%, right? Well, that one trade can lose me 40% of my account. Well, actually 100%, right? But I'm only looking to, I don't know how to explain it, but obviously a 60% risk to reward, that's a 40% difference between 60% and 100%. So what I'm saying is that, okay, I can win 60%, but if I lose, that's 100% loss. I'd much rather try and get as close to the 100% as possible, if that makes sense, right? So I only trade 70% or higher. So again, the way that I determine, okay, how I look, which currency pairs I look at is number one, the session that I'm trading. All right, I got all my favorite pairs for New York session. Okay, that's number one. Okay, number two, as I'm sifting through the pairs, it's not a lot. I think I only have about 7 or 8 up. As I'm sifting through the pairs, I look for my indicator-based confirmations first because those are the easiest to spot. Right, Bollinger Bands, overbought and oversold. Once I get that, I check the broker to see if that currency pair is paying out. If it's paying out, awesome. Then I'll start to, kind of get ready for the entry. I'll do a little support and resistance, maybe put a trend line, do the SRTs, structure, whatever the case may be, then take the trade. If it's not paying out, I move on. Okay, one thing I never do is I never force a trade. Absolutely never force a trade. Okay, boom, perfect. All right, I'm going to take one more question. I like this. You know why? Because I see there's a lot of questions here, which means that I can keep doing these, right? That's what I kind of want to do. I don't want to answer everything on one session. Just keeping it real with you. I think I might enjoy this. All right, I might enjoy this. All right, let's see. Live chat. Let's go to another question. All right. What do you look for? All right, this is where we were at. When you go, I go Miles. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Fund is really well. Are you talking about like those they're like not brokers, but they're like they offer you challenges and stuff like that, and if you complete the challenge, you make the money or something? All right, what time frames do you like to trade when you're working with binary options? I'll answer that one. All my recommended brokers are in the description of literally every video that I make. So as far as time frames, the time frames that I like to trade, it depends. Okay, so I know you're most likely talking about binaries. I'm going to do binaries and MT4. All right, because I know there's a lot of MT4 people here as well. So here's the thing. All right, I explain this to everyone too. So the higher the time frame, the more accurate the trade, like the more accurate the setup, the profitability, right? So that's why when you look at a lot of professional, like real professional traders, you'll see they usually trade the monthly, the weekly, some trade the annual, whatever. On MT4, I like to stick to the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Sometimes I'll do a 30-minute. All right, but 1 hour and 4 hour are by far my favorite time frames to look at and mark up on to place my trades on MT4. In binary options, I look at, so I do a multiple time frame analysis on binaries. I always have two screens up, okay? This is how I do it. And this, we teach this as well with our team. I do live trainings every Wednesday and Thursday. So if you're on my squad, you'll get access to that. We're actually gonna be adding some more now that I'm in my new spot. But every Wednesday and Thursday we talk about this. But so there's something that we call accuracy versus frequency. Okay. So an accuracy versus frequency is being able to kind of do your markups and your analysis on the more accurate time frame. Okay. Hopefully this is making sense, right? But you do your markups and your analysis on the more accurate time frame, and then what you're going to do is you're going to enter on the more frequent time frame. Okay. So what do I mean by that? So I typically have the 3 minute and the 5 minute up. Okay. So the 3 minute is up here. The 5 minute is up here. Okay. If you guys see any of my live sessions, you'll see that. All right. So what I typically do is I always look to the 5 minute first, because if you get a nice setup on the 5 minute, chances are it's also confirming on the 3 minute. Okay. Whereas if you go to the lower time frame first, it's not always going to work out for the higher time frame. So you want to scale in, right? We call it scaling in. So I look at the 5 minute first. I'll get my markup, my analysis on the 5 minute. Okay. If everything is looking good, I know with binary options, it requires a lot of patience. Okay. And a lot of the times what happens is we get impatient and we enter the trade at a point in which we shouldn't have entered it at, right? So here's where you can kind of eliminate that and get good at it. And it might require you to pay for a trading view as well. If you want access to multiple screens, I would highly recommend, guys, if you really want to take your trading serious, just pay for the upgraded version of TradingView. You don't need the max version, the Pro Plus, but just get like the Pro, right? So you can have more than one screen up there, okay? But upgrade, get the two screens up there. And what I'll do is I'll look at the 5, do my markups, whatever the case may be. Everything is good, and that's the accurate time frame. And then I'll scale in to get in on the more frequent time frame, which is the lower time frame. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. So markups and analysis in the 5, run those same markups down to the 3. If the 3 is confirming the same thing and I get that nice entry point on the 3 minute, I'll typically get in on the 3 minute time frame for a 3 minute position. All right, on the 3 minute time frame for a 3 minute position, but I do my markups on the 5 minute time frame. All right, let me know if that made sense. All right, so I know that can get a little bit confusing, like I said. Let me know if that made sense. All right, so again, 5 minute markup, 3 minute, bada bing, bada boom. All right. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So we've been on for over 30 minutes. It's a lot longer than I had planned, but it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Let's see. We're gonna do a quick recap for everyone that hopped on late, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna resume this. I think I'm gonna do this. You know what? Because I like this. I like this. I like this. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any commitments yet. This is gonna be a Tuesday thing. So if you guys are new to the channel, if you guys don't know this, I upload on Thursdays. Okay. If you haven't seen the consistency there, I upload on Thursdays. So typically my videos go up on Thursday. I think this is gonna be the Tuesday thing. Might be the Tuesday thing. But let's recap real quick for everyone that hopped on late. Make sure we're getting everybody's questions. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see. Let's scroll up. Let's scroll up. All right. So, boom, boom, boom. So, good currency pairs. That's question number 1. What are good currency pairs to, the best currency pairs? All the same question. I answered that very simply. The best currency pair is whatever pair works best with your trading plan. What does that mean? Okay, well, what time of days are you trading? And that's another thing. You guys have to have a time of day. Don't just get on the charts whenever. Most amateur traders do that. They get on when they're bored. That's why you don't see any consistent money, right? You got to understand the markets. They do the same thing over and over again. So if you get on at the same exact time, you'll always get the same movement, right? It's easier to make money that way. So again, what time of day are you trading? That's number 1. Number 2, you have to look up the ADR of that pair, right? So if let's just say you're sticking to UJ, look up the ADR for UJ, right? Because you have to know what is the average daily range for that currency pair and does it line up with your trading goals, okay? So that's the first question, all right? The second question was, all right, I'm having a problem with pretty much, where to place my stop loss and my take profit. This is another question that goes based off of your trading plan, right? Well, what I would say is with that, again, it's all based on your strategy. And the best way to get better at that is to back test. Okay. So if you guys haven't checked out my video on back testing and how to back test, definitely go check that out. But back testing is the answer to that question 1,000%, because in back testing, you'll be able to see, okay, with this strategy, with these confirmations that I look for, right? I look for such and such. And when this happens, I've noticed that I get a pullback of maybe about 10 to 15 pips, or I get a pullback of about 20 to 30 pips, but it always shoots in my direction for about 40 to 50 pips, right? So you want to base your stop loss and your take profit based off of what the market has done previously, okay? So you got to back test. So that was the second question. The third question was remembering where to put price action, or remembering just price action in general. I always say the best way to get good at anything is repetition. So just keep doing it, right? Just keep doing it. Keep studying. Keep watching the videos. Keep reading the books, right? I would recommend the book Trading in the Zone, right? Read that, all right? I'm not really a big reader, but I do things anyway because I know it's good for me, right? So Trading in the Zone. But yeah, again, just back testing and repetition. Just keep doing it. The better you get at the more you do it, the better you get at it. One of my mentors, he says this. He says, practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent, right? That's the biggest thing I learned in trading. Practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. You're never going to be a perfect trader, but you're always going to remember it. All right? Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. I don't remember the next questions. Let's see. How much money can you withdraw was the next question. Once you start a live account. It doesn't really matter. I don't think there's many restrictions on MT4 brokers. It depends on the broker. It depends on what broker you get. Binary options brokers have a lot of rules, man. When it comes to withdrawing, make sure you guys read the rules for the withdrawals, because a lot of you are, I guess, getting discouraged, or a lot of you just call a broker a scam. And in reality, you just didn't read the rules. And I'm 1,000% real. I keep it real with everybody. Read the rules of the broker before you complain and write reviews and call it a scam and all this other stuff. You got to read the rules, man. Rules are rules. They're not going to bend because you didn't read them. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Next question was, what was the next question? What time frames? So that was the last question I answered. So what time frames do I trade on? And that was the last question of the day. And it's very simple. The time frames that I trade on, like I said, I trade MT4. I like to stick to 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour. Okay, those are my three favorite time frames: 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. Daily is really good. I'm just not patient enough for daily. And then for binary options, I always do my markups and analysis on the 5-minute, and I try to get a nice set entry on the 3-minute. My positions are 3 minutes long. All right. Now, I only do 3-minute positions on brokers that allow rollovers. Okay. And that's a whole nother topic. So maybe next week, if you guys want to ask about rollovers and double ups, we'll get into that. But yeah, 3-minute positions, 3-minute entry, 5-minute markups, and analysis. So with that being said, man, we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up. I'm excited to read like all the comments and stuff like that. It's like super hard. I think next time I'm going to have this set up a little bit better. I'm actually in, so this is my new spot. This is like my little office in my apartment here. But long story short, I really don't have anything in here yet. So I'm literally just like, my phone is sitting on some bottles that are leaning against my laptop. So when I have everything set up, it'll be a lot easier for me to read the comments, answer the questions and everything, do it all at once. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, man. And if you did, yeah, obviously you already know, man, give it a thumbs up. If you're rewatching the replay, again, let me know if you guys have questions. Write the questions down, all right? So that when we go live, we're going to make sure that obviously we answer those questions. And if you guys are not in my Telegram already, make sure you join the Telegram, because every time I do one of these YouTube lives, I'm going to put it into the Telegram first. I know sometimes we don't get the YouTube notifications, which, by the way, everybody here should have their notifications on, right? I'm just saying, all right? If you're really trying to get this money, turn your notifications on. But make sure you're in my Telegram. All the links, like Telegram and stuff like that, people always ask me in the comments, how do I get in your Telegram? It's literally in the description to these videos. So if you guys go to the description of the video, Telegram group is right there. People say, how do I join your trading group? And the description to the video, everything is right there. All right, so super, super simple, super easy, straight to the point. And again, I can't stress this enough, guys. There's so many scammers, fake accounts, everything out there. I have one Telegram. I have one Instagram. I do not contact people on WhatsApp. I really don't. Unless you contact me on WhatsApp first, I don't reach out to people on WhatsApp. All right. So anybody that's reaching out on WhatsApp, it's not me. I live in the US. There's no reason for me to use WhatsApp unless you guys live outside of the US, in that case, again, I have a US number. Okay. So boom. But just don't get scammed. All right. This is what I'm saying. There's a lot of scammers out there. Don't get scammed. And I will see you guys on the next YouTube live. As always, it's your boy Rico, aka RockStarr.